name is Spear. I'm the marketing director here at SVI Trucks. We are doing our SVI Live series. It's our monthly ongoing series where you get to ask questions real time in that chat rail, or you can engage in our webinar platform after the fact. Today we are featuring this beast right here. This is our Miami-Dade heavy rescue. With me is Lieutenant Jay Rodriguez. He's going to give us that truck walk around. We actually also have Sutphen in house, so once he's done chatting, we'll tell you about the chassis with Sutphen. And then we're going to cut to a live feed across the building where we are building their hazmat. And that will be Dwayne Woodard, our regional sales manager. He'll give you a quick sneak peek because that's the truck we feature in our May series. And he'll answer your questions, and hopefully Lieutenant here can hang on to his mic and answer questions too, should they come in and he's got the answers. So I am going to hop off screen and let him take it over, and he's just going to give you that walk around.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. How you doing? My name is Jay Rodriguez. I'm with Miami-Dade. I'm just going to give you a quick walk around of the truck. If you want to follow me around. First compartment here, we have a air rail, electric rail for pre-connected air tools. We'll have an air chisel pre-connected along with a sawzall, 150 feet and 200 feet of line. We have the commander light controller here to control the command light up top. The firefighter driver engineer of the truck will store his gear here along with a plasma cutter. We have the electrical connection for the plasma cutter there, and all the accessories that go along with that go on this shelf here. If we move along, we also have we put receivers in place. We have a receiver on the bottom, one on in line with that, with the one on the bottom. We have one on top. The one on the bottom is mostly for a change of direction. Since it's a technical rescue truck, it has the ability to go ahead and connect like an eye bolt into the receiver, and we can do change of directions or for rope rescue operations. And then we have one on the top, which gives us the ability to do high angle type rescues and high angle change of directions on that as well. This compartment is primarily our airbag compartment. We have all of our airbags custom made so that they fit in individual compartments. We have a complete slide out, which was also custom made in order for us to put our MaxiForce airbags on top. There's some more, there's shelving that's going to go here, and then on the bottom, if you can see on the side, all the accessories and deadman controls go on the side here. So the MaxiForce bags on top with their respective cases and accessories on the bottom. On this side of the slide out, we have the ability to put all of our struts. Our struts will be placed here horizontally, and then all of the accessories would be laying on the shelf here. The bottom is mostly for accessories that go along with all the struts, all the heads and the footing, air cylinder. We have compartment space here for, we designed it in such a way where on this side it'll be all the working tool air. So all the air cylinders that supply our handheld tools will be stored in this area. So we have the ability to place 1, 2, 3, and 4 cylinders on this side and 5 on the other side. On the other side, those are primarily going to be for breathing air for our confined space equipment. And on this side, like I said, it will be our working air. Here we have slide outs that slide down, out and down. Here we will have, again, other hand tools, and we'll have brackets in place so that everything has its own designated area for its particular tool, so the tools aren't falling on top of each other or moving around as the truck moves. We have another one on top of this one. This is our saw compartment. The saw compartment also has a slide out that tilts down. We'll have two rotary saws, two chain saws, electric saws, and again, these will all also be mounted on on brackets, so they each have their specific place on this tray, so they're not moving around, they'll be strapped down. So we'll have a total of about 6 saws between the K12 saws, the chain saws, and the electrical saws. This compartment here is dedicated for all the cribbing. Since it's a technical rescue truck, we carry a lot of cribbing. Everything from suitcase cribbing to 4x4s, 6x6s, step cribbing, wedges. So this is a 1,000-pound slide out, which has the ability to slide out on either way, on the driver's side or the passenger side, so they can deploy cribbing where they need it. Again, if they would be deployed on this side or the other side, so it has the ability to slide either way. The bottom shelf, 400-pound shelf, which has the ability to hold. This is where we hold all of our high lift jacks and some other cribbing that we have. So it's mostly more for the high lift jacks and our bottle jacks. We have multiple bottle jacks that are pretty heavy, so they all go here. So everything that has to do with lifting and cribbing goes in this compartment. Here we have chains, so this is all of our hard rigging. So we would have, the plan is to have come-alongs hanging. They would be hanging on here, just like this. These two shelves are the same. So we have come-alongs hanging here, or chains with the hooks hanging, hooked on the top, and then the chains would fall in the compartment on the base. So it would be easy to identify what chains we have and what's needed, and easy to deploy. Around the back, on the back side, we also have receivers on the top. So we have the ability to have for a high anchor point, and on the bottom we have the ability also to have a receiver where we can put a shackle in place for a change of direction, or we also have a portable winch which we'll carry in the back, and I'll show you in a minute. We can bring it around and connect it to the receiver, plug our winch, and we can do winch operations from the side as well. Around the back, this is where we will have our winch. So the winch would go in here, and it's, like I said, it's a portable winch, which we have the ability to take it out and put it either on the right side or the left side of the truck to do winch operations on either side. The winch operations will only be done on the bottom, and the top receivers are mostly for high anchor points. If we go up the top, on the top step we have a compartment which is where our portable ground ladders are going to be stored. So we have portable ground ladders here, 24-footer, roof ladder, attic ladder, and some hooks and roof hooks that go here. This truck, different from the one we currently have, we have the full stairwell that gives us the ability to deploy tools from the top side of the truck a lot safer and more efficiently. If you come up top, we have multiple coffin space on both sides. So this is where we're going to be carrying a lot of our breaking and breaching equipment for structural collapse. On this side we have rails for our hydraulic tools. Power plant will be going in the middle between the two rails, with a rail for each hydraulic, one for the spreader, one for the cutters. More coffin space. We'll have tripods in here, and other breaking and breaching equipment for structural collapse. More coffin space here, and more coffin space here. These are all adjustable dividers that we can move according to the type of equipment that we're storing. Here we have more coffin space, which gives us the ability to store. We have inflatable boats, paddles, big breaching tools that take up a lot of space. Our command light, as you can see, is there, and the controller was on the bottom that I showed you. That's pretty much it for the top. If we move along to the passenger side, on this side we're going to have our hydraulics mounted, which would be our spreaders, our cutters, our rams. They'll be mounted on these slide outs. So we pull them out and we can easily deploy the cutter, the spreader, the rams, the cutter and spreaders on one and the rams on the other side. Power plant will go, we have the reels that I showed you up on top in the coffin space. They would come out of here. If you can look in here, this is where the hoses from those reels will come out to supply the hydraulic tools that will be mounted on these shelves. This is the transverse compartment, which holds all of the cribbing that I talked to you about earlier, that has the ability to deploy from either side. And here we just have more space for accessories. More slide outs that have the ability to angle down, and we'll have mounts in place so that every tool has its own specific mount on the tray. We went with the Amdor doors, which seem to be a lot more sturdy, less rattle, more pull-outs and trays with slants. They're all rated at a 250-pound capacity. Again, they have the ability to slide out and down. This is our breathing, our air for our breathing equipment, which would be our confined space equipment. So we have the ability to store air bottles here. So a total of 5 air bottles on the side, which are all of our spare bottles that go with our confined space equipment. So this is our confined space compartment. Our confined space consists of, it's 4 positions, so we have bags that have 200-foot air lines and communication lines in bags. So there's a shelf for each bag, and then on the bottom we have the Pelican cases that carry all of the telecommunication equipment that all go on the bottom, and the spare bottles that go along with that. In this compartment we have, this is where our air cart is going to go. The air cart that supplies all of the air to the airlines, the communications equipment, and where the air bottles go onto the air cart. Here we have more slide outs, which the plan for these this is where we're going to have all of our Paratech struts for stabilization will be mounted on these. On this side we also have an electric rail, air rail. They'll be pre-connected with an air chisel and sawzall. Our air controller. On the other side we have a first stage and a second stage air controllers, and here we have the controllers for this side. And that's pretty much it. We have awnings on both sides, and then again on this side we have high anchor points on the middle and the rear, and on the bottom we also have the receivers for the winch operations and for anchor points as well. So hope it was informative. If you have any questions, we'll always make ourselves available.
So let's go ahead and we'll talk about the cab.
Go along with the cab?
Yeah, so we'll move to the cab and we're going to invite Sutphen on.
Okay. This is the cab section. We have seating for 4 personnel. 4 personnel. Each personnel has their own SCBA seats, and we have a half walkthrough. In the half walkthrough, we have that's where we're going to be storing all of our air equipment, rope equipment, to protect it from the weather. I'll turn you over to Sutphen.
Thanks, Jay. I'm David Stonich with South Florida Emergency Vehicles. I'm the Sutphen dealer for the state of Florida, and we're up here with Miami-Dade doing a final inspection on their TRT truck. This one, I'm going to take over the chassis specs on this rig. This is Sutphen's 73-inch cab, which is our extended cab with extra storage compartments on the back side of the cab. This truck also has a 20-inch raised roof. This is our extreme duty Sutphen Monarch Series chassis. This truck has double frame rails all the way down it. It has a Meritor 23,000 pound front axle and a 46,000 pound rear. This truck rides on air suspension, so they're going to get a really nice ride out of the truck. The power plant in this truck is a Cummins X12 500 horse with a 4000 series Allison transmission. We went ahead and put heavy duty cooling on it. It also has our extreme duty air conditioning for the state of Florida. So this truck has 80,000 BTUs of air conditioning in it. We went ahead and upgraded the alternator on this truck to a 420 amp Leestonville alternator because of the 12 volt LED scene lighting they had to give them a little bit more power on scene out of the alternator system and the battery system. The truck also has Bostrom clean cab seats. These are the Zip Clean products. So the fire department will get an extra set of covers for the seats, bottom cover and a back cover, and they can simply just unzip the seat, throw it in a gear washer, and then put another set in the truck to keep the seats clean at all times. We have a keyless entry system on the truck, so the guys can lock this truck and unlock the truck quickly as they get in and out of the cab. We have special bars on the rear doors for egress to make it safe. Auxiliary steps have been included on this truck. On the front of the rig, this truck has a 30-inch front bumper. The reason the front bumper is so large in this truck is it has two hydraulic reels for the rescue tools, one on either side. It also has a 12,000 pound Warren winch in the front of the truck. The truck also carries, there's receiver hitches around the different sides of the truck for a 9,000 pound portable winch. It also has LED FireTech headlights, LED FireTech brow lights, federal signal warning on this truck. And then we've done a couple of nice touches for the front end of the truck by having the MDFR TRT truck in the grill and also the American flag grill. So overall, this chassis is a very heavy duty chassis, and I believe that it'll do well with Miami-Dade, and I think they'll enjoy this rig.
Well, we want to thank these gentlemen for giving us this walk around. Like I promised, we're going to actually cut our feed and head across the building so that you guys can get that sneak peek, and then we're going to open up to all those chatted questions. So give us a second and we'll switch things over. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Dwayne Woodard, the Eastern Regional Sales Manager for SVI Trucks. We're here today to give you a little preview of Miami-Dade's Hazmat truck. But be sure and check out the full walk around next month, where you'll be able to watch a full walk around and a live interactive with the Miami-Dade Hazmat truck. Currently, the truck is going to be on a Sutphen. It's a 73-inch Monarch cab. And if you'll come around the back, I'll show you a few things we're doing to it. What that allows is a nice smooth movement, so there's no friction with the body sitting on here. It also separates dissimilar metals. And the other thing that I'll point to right here is our body mounts. We use spring-loaded body mounts, so it allows the body to move a little bit. Over here, if you'll follow me. This is a 28-foot stainless steel body for Miami-Dade's Hazmat. It's what we use 304 stainless. You can see that the body is prepped. It's fixing to go into pre-paint. We've got our unistruts in the body. We haven't put the wheel fenders on here yet. And just a few quick features about this one is I'll point up to the top. It's going to have a curbside mounted awning that they can use for dressing out.
James said his screen just started working, so he's asking what were you saying about the frames and rails for mounting?
Okay.
We'll hop back over there.
Yep, we can come back over here. So what we provide is a proprietary thing for us. It's UHMW. It's a plastic extrusion that we glue down on top of the frame, and the body sits on top of this. It's very low friction, and it also separates the body for the dissimilar metals.
Okay. All right, we'll go back to that stainless steel body.
We'll go to the front. So I don't want to give away a lot on this video since it's just a preview, but you'll see that they're going to have a front walk-in section that they're going to use for their research. And then they're also going to have a slide out. So the research area will give them a bigger space.
Okay.
So if anybody has any questions about this or the TRT rescue truck, feel free to fire away.
Well, we actually had some questions from earlier that were chatted in. So first off, someone said a nice touch on the tread plate wheel wells. Was there a reason besides the looks?
A couple of reasons. One is the looks. It gives a nice look and breaks up the paint. But on the other side, it makes it a lot more durable. If you think you're going to be working around it and can possibly scratch the paint, we can do the aluminum tread plate, or we can do stainless as well, just to make things a little more durable.
Someone, I think Lieutenant covered this, but he asked why they decided to hang the chains.
Hanging the chains makes it a lot neat, and also you can put your weight and strength tags on it, so you'll know with a quick glance which chains you need for the job.
There's a lot of comments on the backlit handrails. People like those. But one question was, is there any reason behind that?
Green is Miami-Dade's color, so that's why they went with green. You can get them in white and several different colors that help the truck stand out the way you want.
Okay. Let's see here. Sam was asking, why mount the hydraulic tools? Why not utilize the slide-out trays?
Good question. So a nice reason to have them on your slide-outs is because you can actually store the same amount of tools in a much smaller footprint. And a lot of times you don't have to bend over to pick them up. They're typically at the height that you just want to pull them right off the truck.
And let's see here. A couple more questions that have come in. What was the ratings on the receivers? I think we chatted that answer for you. And also Miami-Dade, were they going to mount their tools themselves? That was also going to be dealer mounted. So but that capability is also here at SVI Trucks should you need it. We've got a couple more questions that have trickled in. When is the TRT truck expected delivery date?
Should be, I think, within the next 30 days. It's at the dealership now, and some members from Miami-Dade are going back and forth to the dealership and laying out the equipment and getting it mounted.
All right, and Lieutenant Jim Dolan, he has also added that the research area is also going to house all meters inside, and it's going to be temperature controlled. So thanks for that tidbit. And then we've also got, Ben, what's the build time on something like this?
Currently, realistically, but we're looking somewhere between 550 and 600 right now. A lot of that is, part of it is backlog. A lot of it is just being able to get all the parts from all the vendors right now. You know, with everything that's going on in the world today, getting all the parts that we need has become a little bit more of a challenge than most people realize.
Okay. Any other questions? We can see if there's anything else that trickles in. Otherwise, I think we covered them. We'll go back through and make sure we didn't miss anything. And like Dwayne mentioned, we will be featuring this hazmat truck here in the near future. So thanks all for joining us.